if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, understand something. The Miami Heat just create a wall. They're not going to let Giannis Antetokounmpo come downhill and come at them. So we got Chris Middleton getting off, shooting 12 or 24 from the field. What did he finish with? 28 points? That was his best performance since he's been in the bubble as far as I'm concerned. Wasn't good enough, though. Why? Because Jimmy Butler. Buckets. The Butler did it with the knife in the conservatory that is the bubble in Orlando. For those of you who don't know, I'm alluding to a game of Clue, which is why Max is probably on the screen laughing right now. You love Clue, Max. I loved Clue when I was growing up, okay? The knife, okay? That is the Butler did it with the knife in the conservatory that is the bubble in Orlando, Florida. Plain and simple. The Butler did it. He put it on him. No question about it, and I love it. You know, like I said, I don't know if he's that guy that can obviously single-handedly win you a championship the way the LeBrons and the Kawhi has or whatever. But last night he showed he could. The Butler did it to him. Ain't no question about it. And oh, by the way, one of my favorite, that marksman, that brother that pulls up from the parking lot, Duncan Robinson, he only finished with 4 points on 1 of 4 shooting. That's it. Excuse me. That's not going to last. Tyler Hero hit about 3 threes. I'm looking at Bam Adebayo. I mean, I'm just saying to myself, these brothers right here haven't even shown you what they're capable of doing yet, as far as I'm concerned. On the offensive side of the floor, it's a relatively pedestrian performance. Goran Dragic had 27. He had 27. I know that. But when I think about Miami, I know he's good. He's a decent player. But to me, where Miami's the threat to Milwaukee is when those marksmen start pulling up from long range. Hero and Duncan Robinson and a Kendrick Nunn and those boys. And, of course, Butler. So the way I look at it, excuse me, if you could do, they've got athletes. They've got guys that get on the wings and defend perimeter shooters and what have you. They're willing to give up the shot to Giannis Antetokounmpo, no doubt about that. But everybody else, they got a hand in their face, and they've got the speed, the agility, the athleticism to get out and defend those brothers. Miami is not a team to be slept on. Meanwhile, I told you this, and don't get me wrong, Milwaukee can still win the series. We understand they're the number 1 seed for a reason. The Greek Freak ain't no joke. But I did not say I was sleeping on Milwaukee weeks ago, Molly. What did I say? I was snoring. I was snoring, okay? Why? Because when I think about the Milwaukee Bucks, I know what the Greek Freak is. But I also look at Bledsoe, I look at Lopez, I look at George Hill. These are quality guys, great dudes who, by the way, can play. But come postseason time, there's something missing. And against Miami, nothing can be missing. You got to show up if you Milwaukee. And I just don't know about anybody else outside of the Greek Freak. I really don't know.
Well, first of all, it was great Miami. It was great Miami. That is such, I'm going to talk about the Bucks, but I just got to say something first. This is such a Pat Riley team. Pat Riley, of course, respect to Eric Spoelstra, but you look at Riley's teams throughout the years, Stephen A., when he's had transcendent talent like Magic and Kareem and Worthy and LeBron and Wade and those guys, and Shaq for a little bit, he wins championships. When he has hard-working all-stars, like even if they're future Hall of Famers like Patrick Ewing, but not quite on that LeBron, Kareem level, right? Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, Tim Hardaway. He'll make a run at a championship. I know those Heat teams back in the day with Hardaway and Mourning were getting knocked out in the first round, but that was by Jeff Van Gundy's Knicks, who had Ewing in them. But they were vicious first-round series. Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler, when Jimmy Butler went down there, we all thought like, boy, that's a good match. And is it ever? They have been great. And by the way, Stephen A., something you didn't mention, Jimmy Butler has yet to lose in these playoffs. They haven't lost yet. They just gone through 5 straight. They just keep winning. Now, the Bucks. I like the Bucks. Max. I still like the Bucks to win. Yeah.
Let me just say this one comment before I let you go on. The greatest compliment we could say about Pat Riley is that he's been coaching since the 80s. Not one time has he had one mentally soft team. The personnel that he picks, he makes sure you're a Rough Rider first. That's the greatness of Pat Riley.
Yeah, as a fan, as a fan of a franchise that Pat Riley's at the helm of, you always feel pride. You feel proud about the way they go about their business. And Butler is a great leader for this team. And that was a great performance by so far a legitimately great playoff team. That's what the Heat have been. But the Bucks, Stephen A., Giannis, I know they're walling off against him, right? They're walling up. And apparently you don't really need bigs to do it. You just need some bodies to do it. They're also recovering, they're playing great defense, the Heat. No doubt about it. But now Giannis has got to make something happen. By the way, he's an underrated passer. For a big, he has handles. You saw him early on hit an open three. If they're going to get, Bam gave him a three. He took it and knocked it down. He's getting contributions from the two guys who really needs them from right now, without Bledsoe there. Middleton, who was not only hot early, but you see him at times he would turn down a decent look at a three to get a great look at a mid-range. So he would stay hot. Like, he was doing a lot of smart things, I felt, and having a good game, at least in the first half of the game. And Brook Lopez was knocking down threes and playing well. If Giannis is getting at least that kind of contribution, where in the first half at one point they may have had a double-digit lead, but it was like 8-10 points, he's got to play better than that. And you could see the confidence as a problem when he was on the line. When I see a guy like that miss free throw after free throw, to me that says that's not just a mechanical thing. I mean, it could be if he's playing well in other areas, but he wasn't. His confidence is shaken. And if Giannis really wants to be the best player in basketball, and this is why I hate regular season MVP, because if you ask me to give the MVP now, I can't give it to Giannis. He'd have to play a lot better than this. But he has to take the regular season version of himself, and I don't care what adjustments you make. This is big boy time, right? You now have to adjust to their adjustments. If he wants to be an all-time great, he's got to do it now. Now, here's the thing, Stephen A. I think he is, and I think he will. I still, in spite of how the Heat are playing in the regular season against the Bucks and now in this playoff, and the fact that they're 5-0 in these playoffs, I still like the Bucks to win because I believe in Giannis. But he's got to believe in himself, and right now he does not look confident to me.